Hey everyone, welcome back to this YouTube channel on Manifold AI Learning. My name is Murthy and I'm here with you today to explain about how to work with this Streamlit library. See, we humans love to share, and especially if there is a way to share our development that we have done in the data science and machine learning domain, we definitely want to show off and we want to showcase our skill set to the others. Now, what better way than presenting it and creating your own application? And that's where the Streamlit library comes into picture. So this Streamlit library helps us to create the shareable web application in a matter of minutes, and it's very simple. So it's very simple to create, it's very simple to compose, and the overall interface is very intuitive. You can actually use it as part of your data science project presentation. So if you are building your any profile, I highly recommend you to create it as a Streamlit application, so that when you're appearing for the interview, you can just share that application link to the person who is interviewing you. They get the feel as how the overall application that you have built. Okay, it's a good way to share your data science application. So in this video, we'll cover end to end about this Streamlit library. We will learn as how we can create a Streamlit script, how you can actually execute that script, and also at the end, I'll also share you as how you can deploy this Streamlit application for free. So this is an end-to-end video. So stay with me till the end. If you have got any questions, feel free to share with me on the comment section. I'll be happy to take it up in the next video. And thanks for all the love that you have given to me till now. So let's get started. So first things first, this is a Python based library. Since this is a Python based library, in order to work with it, we have to first install it in our system. So the way that we can install this Streamlit library is pip install Streamlit and Streamlit hello. So by running the Streamlit hello, you should be able to see the output which confirms that whether you have all the necessary installation in place or not. So let's get started. See, I'll start by copying the same and I'll open my terminal. Okay, pip install Streamlit. So I have already installed, so it has completed. I'll say Streamlit hello. Now when I press the enter key, this is going to launch a demo Streamlit application. So this is a Streamlit demo application. This confirms that we have the Streamlit library installed and it is working without any issues. So that is a great thing. So what are we waiting for? Let's get started and let's start coding. So in order to work with the Streamlit library, I'm going to bring up my Visual Studio. The reason that I'm going to bring up the Visual Studio because we will be writing the code as a Python script, and that is the reason that I have bring this up my Visual Studio, and I have created a folder. Inside a folder there is a Python script file that I have already created, app.py. This is where I'll be writing all the code which are necessary for my web application. First thing is, we'll start by importing it. I'll say import Streamlit as st. So this is the same way that we import any library. So I'll import this Streamlit library as st. Now, in this Streamlit application, you can think of this as a web page. If you want to add any title to your page, that means if you want to add any title in your page, you can just say st.title. Title is a method, and inside the parenthesis, just mention the title of the page. So I'm going to say Streamlit demo Manifold AI Learning Murthy. I'm going to save it. So let's do one thing. I'll keep this towards left hand side and we are going to launch this demo application and we are going to see it side by side. We'll do the code changes and we will see its effect on the screen browser. That's how we'll be doing it. I'll bring up my terminal. I'm going to hit Ctrl C. Okay, I'll go to that folder. I'm already inside the folder where my file is present, that is app.py file is present. So I'm going to launch this Streamlit application from this app.py. So if I want to launch it, the command that I have to run is Streamlit run app.py. Okay, so Streamlit run app.py. So if I press the enter key, this is going to launch my application. So it has opened up in my browser window. I'll bring this to the screen. See, this has launched my Streamlit application, and you can clearly see that there is a title present on this web application. And by default, this Streamlit app will be hosted on the port 8501. Okay, so this is how a title in my Streamlit would look like. Okay, now if I want to add any header for this web page, I can say st.header and I can mention the heading. I'll say this is my heading of Streamlit. Okay, and I'm going to save it. Once I save the file, see, just observe on the right hand side on the browser window. It says source file changed. Do you want to rerun or do you want to always rerun? I'll click on this always rerun. So if I click on it, anytime that I do any code changes, I'll be able to see its effect on my web app. So it says heading of Streamlit. This is my title. This is my heading. Okay. It also supports subheading as well. So it's very similar to heading. So instead of header, just say subheader. Okay. And mention your subheading. Save it. Okay. So this is how a subheading would look like. And we can also add the text as well. So in order to add the text, just make use of text method and mention the text. Okay, this is an example text. So you can add a text as well in your Streamlit application. It's easy, isn't it? And if you want to add any success kind of messages, so if you want to add any success based messages, type st.success and enter the success message, or I'll just mention it as success, which is my success message. See, this is going to give me the output in the format of a green color. This is how a success message would look like. In the same way, we can display the warning message. Okay, that's very easy. Just replace it with warning, and I can add the information message as well, like st.info. And I can say information. So in this way we can add the information as well. See, warning, information. And if I want, I can also add the error as well, st.error. And that's how you can display the various messages: success, warning, information, error. Okay, now one of the common thing that we generally use it whenever we are building any application is getting the checkbox from the user. See, if I want to get a checkbox from the user, that means if I want to have a checkbox over here, I can just say st.checkbox. So if I say st.checkbox, okay, I can say select or unselect. So this is the message that I'm going to get. See, there is a checkbox that is appearing and the message it says is select or unselect. If I select it, or I can even unselect it. If a user selects it, this will send the command as true in the backend. If the user unselects it, the by default the value will be actually equal to, I would say, false. So I can implement a logic on top of this. I can say that if st.checkbox, okay, I can say that st.text user selected the checkbox. That's simple. So if I now selected this checkbox, I'll get a text message that says as user selected the checkbox. I can add a else statement if I want, and I can say that st.text user has not selected the checkbox. See, that's how I can actually do it. Now if I uncheck it, user has not selected the checkbox. So that's how I can display the message based on the checkbox. And we can get the radio button as well. Suppose I'll say st.radio. That's the function where we can have a radio button. Now first thing is we have to mention the heading. I'm going to say, what is your favorite color? Okay. Now for this, if I want to add any multiple options, we can add the multiple options for this in the format of a tuple. So I'm going to say red, green, yellow. Okay, so I can save it. Now whatever the user selects over here, okay, whatever the user selects over here, that will be stored inside my state variable. I can now use this state variable and I can actually create an interactive application. For example, if the user selects as green, okay, if the user selects as green, I can display a message something like this. I'll say if state is equal to green, okay, I can write a message that says as st.text, that's my favorite color as well. Okay, maybe I'm going to mention it as st.success in the format of a success. See, if the user now selects as green, I'm displaying a message as that's my favorite color as well. Okay, so in this way we can actually write the logic as per our requirement. So you have learned as how to display the title, how to add the heading, subheading, text message, success, warning, error, checkbox, and the radio button. Okay, now apart from that, another common thing that we generally use it whenever we want to get the input from the user, especially when we are getting the input for the machine learning model, is maybe we want to have a select box, that is the checkbox. Okay, so in that case I can write it like this. Okay, I'll say occupation is equal to st dot select box. Okay, here I'm going to say what do you do. This is the question that I'm going to ask, and for the various options I can mention it in this way. I'll say I am a student, I am a blogger, okay, I'm an engineer. Okay, so these are the options that the user has as a select box. Okay, then whatever the user selects, okay, I can actually print it if I want. So I can say st.text, I can add it as a text by writing as selected option is, and I can actually mention that value, that is the occupation. So I'm going to save it. See, we have the select box right now. So if I select as vlogger, it says selected option is vlogger. So in this way we can add the information as part of our requirement. Now if in case, okay, if in case that you want to have a button, so if you want to add any button, okay, like st dot button, so you can say that you can add a button over here. Okay, this is an example button. So you'll have a button over here which will have the example button. If the user clicks on it, this would actually send in the input as true. Okay, so I'll say that if st.button example button, if the user clicks on it, I'm going to say st.text, okay, I'll say st.error, you clicked it. So now if I click on it, I'll get a message that says as you clicked it. Okay, that's how we can set the action if the user clicks on the button. Okay, now you can actually create any function, and the best part is, okay, so you can also create a data frame and display it in the format of a table using the st.table. So like this you can go ahead and include various aspects to your web page. The common ones is if you're dealing with the deep learning model, you can also refer to the various methodologies that are available in the Streamlit documentation, where you can upload an image. That means you can have an upload button in the Streamlit application, and it will have the ability to read the image data, and using that image data you can send it to your deep learning model. So all those functionalities are actually available in the Streamlit library. It is worth exploring for the deployment of your machine learning models. Okay, so we now have the very good application that we have got. So if I expand it, this is how my Streamlit application would look like. Now if I want, I can actually add the sidebar as well. Let me just show you what is sidebar before I end this video. Okay, I'm going to say st.sidebar. Okay, on the sidebar I'm going to add a header. I'll say that heading of sidebar, st.sidebar dot, I'll say text, okay, created by Murthy. Okay, see, now I have added a sidebar. So in this way we can add a sidebar, we can add a text, so we can do all sort of stuff. Now we have the Streamlit application. Now, as I promised earlier, we can also deploy this on the cloud. So let me show you how we can deploy the Streamlit application. So what I'll do is I'll come back to my Streamlit page. Here, what we can do is we can click on this Streamlit Community Cloud. We can click on the same and we can just get started. Okay, so Streamlit Community Cloud is available for us, which will help us to deploy our code, okay, on the Streamlit. So in order to do that, first thing that we have to do is we have to log into our GitHub account. Okay, so we'll have to log into our GitHub account and we have to upload our file to the GitHub account. For the demonstration purpose, so I'll create a new repository under Manifold AI Learning. I'll share the link in the documentation page that is under the description. I'll say Streamlit demo app. Okay, I'll set it as public. I'll create a repository. Now in this page, I'll start by just uploading the file. Okay, so I'll upload an existing file. So app.py file, I'll just upload it to my repository. Now once we have uploaded to our repository, we are good to get started, folks. So what we just have to do is we'll have to sign in over here. Okay, I'll take you to the page. So I'll just go over here. We'll click on sign up. Okay, so create a new account. I'll sign up with my GitHub. So authorize it. So it says use security key. I'll use my authenticator app and just ensure that you authenticate your account. That means you have to log in. Okay. So once you do the authentication, once you connect your Streamlit to your GitHub account, so just fill in few details. I'm going to say Murthy. Okay. So I'll mention my email address. Ensure that you specify your email address over here. Okay, and country. Okay, click on I accept. Now once this is done, so what you need to do is here in this page, click on new app and authorize your Streamlit. Now in this page, we just have to select the repository. The repository is Streamlit demo. And the branch is main branch. The file is app.py file. Okay, click on deploy. That's all. So just click on deploy. This will take some time in order for us to get the URL. So once it is deployed, so it will actually give us the URL to us and we can access our application by visiting that URL. Okay, in this way, you can deploy your machine learning models and share it with others. Share your work with others by creating a app with the help of the front end. See, now I have got the application deployed. To validate it, I'll just copy this link, okay, and I'll paste it in my different browser where I'm not logged in. See, if I go over there to that link, the app is loaded for me. So in this way, we can deploy any machine learning models or any of your code with the help of the front end using the Streamlit. All right, folks, with this, we come to the end of this video. So do check out the code that I have mentioned in the description. So I hope you like this video and do check out the other playlist that we have uploaded on our YouTube channel. There are multiple playlists that has been uploaded over here. Okay, so there's a playlist on machine learning. There's a new playlist that is coming up that's on machine learning, deployment, so deep learning. Do check out the various playlists. So get started with your learning journey for free. So thanks again for joining in and I'll see you next time.